Hey everybody, I just want to talk a little bit about something that's kind of on my mind. I talked about this in a blog not too long ago, but I'll take you back a little bit, a little explanation on what I'm talking about. It's a GoPro situation. The GoPro session cameras, all right? There's three different types of GoPro session cameras. You got the GoPro Session, the GoPro Session 4, and the GoPro Session 5. Now, the first one to come out was the GoPro Session 4. All right, they brought it out, and I believe it was about, I think it was about $200 by itself when it came out. All right, so not too long after that, they decided they were going to come out with the GoPro Session 5. All right. Now the thing is right around that time they were jumping up. They were already on the 5 on the regular GoPro Hero cameras, and they were coming out with the GoPro 6. So they needed to do something with the 4. All right. The 4 made the camera, the session camera, seem kind of outdated. All right. So what they did was they took the GoPro Session 4, which is the session is without the screen. It's the cut down version of it. It's smaller, no removable battery. It's kind of a basic GoPro. So what they did was they rebranded the 4 and branded it to the GoPro Session, just the GoPro Session, all right? And they stopped selling the 4. You can still get them refurbished. You can get them online, what they have left, but they don't make them no more. They rebranded them the GoPro Session, and then they brought out the GoPro Session 5. They dropped the price of the GoPro Session down to $150. Okay, and so the Session 5, they made it $200. Okay, they did this so they could change the pricing around because of it, and they also did it so they could get rid of the 4 because the 4 was lagging the brand down. People felt that it was out of date being a 4. But if it's just a session name, they wouldn't feel maybe that it was dragging the name down. So okay, so there's backstory. All right, so there's a pawn shop that I went to, and they had 2 cameras there. They had the GoPro Session, and they had the GoPro Session 4. All right. So the Session was actually is the newer camera, and the 4 is older. But mind you, when the 4 came out, it was a little more money. All right. So I'm pretty sure that this pawn shop had bought the 4 first. All right. Now on this, they had a few items with that they were selling with the 4, and they were just cheesy little items. One comes with it. It's the skeleton, and then they had a handle and a selfie stick. I mean, these things are cheap. They wanted $230 some odd on the price of it. Already way overpriced. But if you looked over at the GoPro Session, it had nothing. It was by itself, and they wanted $99 for it, which is a good price for it. It's 2/3 of at that time, at the price of what they were selling for. And so that's worth it. So I walk in and I see it, and knowing what I know, and I know GoPro cameras, I know that the 4 and the Session, the GoPro 4 Session and the GoPro Session are the exact same camera. The only difference is the number 4 on it. So I explained to the people, the lady there and the guy that hey, look, listen, it's the same camera, exact same camera. And I will pick them. I will buy them both if you give me the price of $99 for both one and $99 for the other. $200 for both of them. They said no, they'll sell the one for $99, but the lowest they'll go on the other one was going to be something like I want to say at that time like $150. And I said I can go buy this camera for $150. They said, oh no sir, they sell these for $200. I said, no, I keep up with all this. I go to Walmart and I go to all the different places and I check this stuff out. I know. I own a GoPro Session 4. I mean, I'm sorry, a GoPro Session. My son owns the 5. You can't find the 4 anymore unless you go online and get it refurbished. So no sir, you can't do that. So I said, all right, forget about the 4. I'll just buy the other one. But they wanted to argue the fact still with me that the 4 is a different camera than the regular Session. So I told them, I said, all right. So I turned around and I walked out. I was actually going to buy the camera, but they wanted to argue the point, and I know the difference. So I walked out and I told my wife, I said, listen, and when I come back, the first session is going to be gone. The one is $99. The other one's going to sit there, and it's going to sit there and it's going to rot if they leave it that price. And sure enough, months went by, and every week I would go by there once every 2 weeks. That camera is still sitting there, still sitting there. So today I decided to get be a little, I guess you could say a little wise ass. I went in there and I talked to that same lady, and I said, hey, listen, I've been wanting to talk to you before. And I said about the cameras being the same and everything. And I said, may I see it? The price is still on it. She goes, well, let me go see what the best price I can get on it. So she comes back, she says, the best price I can do on it is $125. And I said, well, ma'am, this is the same thing we talked about before. These cameras are the same exact camera, just a different number on it. She goes, well, we got to get what we got out of it. And I said, I know, but sometimes prices change on things. You can't get more than what something is worth. I'm sorry you're going to lose money out of it, but they're not worth this no more. Well, you can if you can buy the 4 online and everything. I said, but the 4 is the same as the Session. It's the same exact camera, same exact parts and everything. And even the refurbished ones are that cheaper than that. You can get it for $110, $120. So why would you spend more at a pawn shop, one without any kind of guarantee or anything like that on it? So I told her that, and I said, well, so I got on my phone and I looked it up. I said, and you can do it yourself. Go on there and go, hey Google, is the Session, the GoPro Session and the GoPro Session 4 the same thing? And if you look on it, it'll say, even the first line that'll pop up, it'll tell you that it's a rebranded camera. It's the same exact camera. And I showed it to her. She says, it still doesn't matter. We gotta get what we put into it or whatever. I said, okay, ma'am. I said, well, that camera's gonna sit here a very long time because nobody's gonna buy one that's more expensive used than the one and you can buy a brand new one for cheaper, $20 cheaper, brand new in the store. That makes 0 cents, and you're gonna lose money. So they've already dropped it from $230 to $250 now to $230, I think it is. Yeah, $230, and so they're being hard-headed about it. They're just being hard-headed. They're gonna keep trying to get more than than the camera's worth. You gotta, when you're in a business like that, you gotta keep up with the trends. You gotta know what things are worth. You gotta, and you can't charge more in a pawn shop than what something is on the outside, in the outside world. And they're gonna continue this game. So they go to Walmart right now. Go to get a Hero Session. They're $110 or $120. I can't remember. 118, I think. 110, 119. Can't remember. But it's under the 130 mark for sure. And it's the same camera as the Session 4. So I'll wait another month. It'll be there. And this time when I come in, I come in this week. I said $80 because I know I can buy that same camera for 110 or 100 or so, and I'm not paying. I'm not getting a warranty on it. I'm not getting any kind of the extras that come with it, so I'm not paying the full price. So in a month or so, I'm going to come in and I'm going to offer them $70. And then I'll wait a couple weeks and then I'll offer them $60. I'll just keep going. The thing is I can come in, I can go in here. I'm not doing it to be mean. I'm doing it to prove a point that they're going to lose so much money on this camera because they just won't sell the camera for what it's really truly worth and not the worth that's in their head. And it's not even, it's the lower end GoPro. It only have a screen on it. And nobody really wants those, and only certain people that use them for specific reasons will even want this camera. And I use them because I don't look at the screen. I put it on my head and I get on go-karts or whatever. You don't need to look at the screen, but most people want to have a screen on it. The bottom line is they're trying to get more than what the camera, what it's worth, and they're going to continue to play this game until the point where they just cannot sell it, and they're going to make. And if they do sell it, they're going to sell it for half, if not less, than what they got from the person who pawned the damn thing. And so they're going to lose out over pride. And so I'll continue to play the game. I go by there all the time, and to me, it's more funny than anything to see somebody stick to their guns and so prideful that they'd rather lose money than sell the darn thing for what it's worth, and listen to what the customer is talking about. Because sometimes the customer will walk in and they know what's going on, and I do know what's going on with that camera, and so they're going to lose money on it. Saying, and I guess I'll be laughing about it. I think next time I walk in with my entire collection of GoPros that I have. So I bought my son's from him because he owes me money. So I got the Session 5, I got the Session, I got the GoPro 6, I got the GoPro 5. I'll show them my GoPro collection and show them what they're missing. But anyway, that's what I want to talk about. I know it maybe comes off a little bit of being a prick, but they're letting their pride get the best of them, and now they're going to lose money over the whole thing, and instead of just selling the camera for a little bit of profit and making a little profit off of it, because they made the mistake of buying it when they thought the market was high for them and didn't sell it while the market was high, and now the market's low and it's not worth as much, and so they're afraid they're only going to make a little money, and in the end they're going to lose a lot of money on the camera. C'est la vie. In 2 weeks, I tell you what, when I go in there, maybe I'll bring in my GoPro on my head and make the offer and let everybody see the offer and explain it to these people one more time. Maybe I'll have it on my phone ready to go so they can read it and show them why they're losing money, but they don't want to listen to that. So anyway, I wanted to share this with everybody, and Johnny out.